Hello and welcome everyone. This is Race on Oz. It's Monday night. It's the PC League. My name is Nick and we are getting set for round number 7. 7 of 9. So we're on the back end of the season. We're in the final 3 races. Had a little break last week, so I hope everyone's well. And we're going to do 60 minutes of Suzuka. Before we do that, let's have a quick look back at what was Zolder, 100 minutes of Zolder in fact. So what a fun and entertaining race that was. It was a duel between Michael Easter and Andrew Lawrenson for the majority of it. Andrew Lawrenson ended up leading for about 75 minutes, but couldn't quite hold on for that last 25 minutes or so. So 15 minutes. He couldn't quite hold on. Andrew Lawrenson ended up getting him in the end. I think his tyres were pretty much cooked for Michael Easter, despite the efforts of a fan club, you could say, in the chat. They were very, very entertaining. Someone named Donkey was in there as well. I don't think they'll be back this evening. Michael doesn't seem to be racing. But it was Andrew Lawrenson who took out race victory number 2 for the season. So it was the first repeat winner for the season. Plenty of carnage at the start as well, but it was Paul Russell, Dennis Strelnikov and Terry Rayton who took home the top 3 for Pro. In terms of silver, it wasn't Dennis Strelnikov and Terry Rayton. It was Andrew Lawrenson, Michael Easter and Terry Rayton. My mistake there. Dennis Strelnikov is our championship leader. In silver class was Adrian Rice who took out class victory. I do believe that is his first class victory for the season. So great effort by him in the McLaren. And then in terms of the AM, it was Mark Hurley who took out another, I think that's his back-to-back class victories. So big congratulations to him. On the podium, joining Adrian Rice in the silver was Adrian Rice, Huddy and James Mack. For the AM, it was Mark Hurley, James Bridgens and Herbertron rounding out the podium. Brings us to the championship standings. It would be good if I had the championship standings, wouldn't it? Where are we? I put in the wrong one. Or did I put... I put the wrong one in there, I think. Oh no. That's what I've done wrong. What a bugger. Alright. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I don't even know if anyone really watches this anyway. Manufacturers, it's pretty tight still. 1,110 for Porsche, 1,093 for Ferrari. Aston Martin in 3rd. 4th is Lamborghini and BMW. And then you've got McLaren, Mercedes and Lexus just rounding out the bottom 3 there. In terms of the championship, the Drivers' Championship, it is super close. So there's only 1 point separating Andrew Lawrenson and Dennis Strelnikov. Terry Rayton is sitting in 3rd on 384 points. So the championship's still up for grabs with 3 races left. Paul Russell in there as well on 4th on 380 points. Max Ricker having a great season, 327 points in 5th right now. 6th is Michael Easter, but he's missed a couple of races. So he's had a 7th, a win, a 4th and a 2nd, and missed a couple. Matt Frost in 7th on 309. James Mack, 8th on 271. And then Neil Fakney, 10 points behind him. And Tom McDonald rounding out the top 10. Let's see if I've got the track right. Yeah, I do. Awesome. All right, Suzuka, what a cracking track. Raced around here the other week. Didn't turn out very well for me, unfortunately. 18 turns, 5.8 kilometres in length. It's a cracker. It's a great circuit. So the Schumacher S's or the Senna S's, I think they're referred to as. Plenty of action through there. Dunlop as well. Degner 1, Degner 2. You've got the figure 8 configuration of this circuit as well, which makes it very unique. One of the very few in the world that would have that figure 8 configuration. The hairpin spoon curve 130R, the Casio triangle, so some really famous corners on this track. Looking forward to see how these boys go around here this evening, and we're only a couple of minutes away from getting that done. So you can see there, lap times a 1:59.6 by Denis Strelnikov. So great job from him to take out the fastest time in practice. Terry Rayton, Andrew Lawrenson, all the championship protagonists at the front of the field where you want to see them. Paul Russell in 7th. Just a little bit about ballast as well. So drivers are carrying ballast as they have been all season. Denis Strelnikov is carrying the most, 17 kilos of ballast to Strelnikov. Lawrenson has 15. And then Terry Rayton and Paul Russell, they have 9 kilos. And then other drivers, James Mack, Neil Fakney, they've got 6 kilos as well. And a few others in there with 3 kilos. I think Matthew Marsh is back as well. So he had I think he went on holidays. So welcome back to Matthew Marsh. I think the last time he was racing, he took out a class victory. So exciting to see what he can do this evening, which we're only 50 seconds away from getting started. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. I hope you've had a great start to the week as well. Cricket is on, and we've lost 2 very quick ones, unfortunately.
Green light, go, go, go.
So it's not going to plan right now. Alright, let's get this sorted. Here we go. Alright, plenty of cars making their way out on the circuit. Peter Wall is one of them in the Aston Martin. Matt Frost, another in the Audi. Who else? Yep, Harley Scotland. Who else? Paul Huddy is out there as well in the Audi. James Pierre Reid is back. Have a look at that livery. Got it nailed this time. Very impressive. Neil Fakney is out there. As I said, Matthew Marsh is back. Mark Hurley, last round's AM class winner. It's all getting a bit willing out there already. John Stockton was in there. Terry Rayton. And Andrew Lawrenson rocking the all yellow livery this evening. A homage to there's a testing train of some sort. Where was it? There's a little backstory to this. It was wacky. Came up in Wacky Wednesday. I think it was in the chat, wasn't it? Yeah. But it was something. There's a like the bullet train in Japan. It came up around that. Apparently the testing train is yellow, and it's good luck if you see it in real life. So yeah, very interesting. Came up amongst a conversation of baby metal, which, to be fair, I would never have thought baby metal would ever be mentioned in a Rouge chat, but here we were. Here's Peter Wall. He's out there now. So if you've never checked out baby metal, do yourself a favour. It's not my preferred genre of metal, that's for sure. But I have quite the following, cult-like even. But anyway, here's Peter Wall making his way through the centre S's. Gets down the dip. Then the left-hander of Dunlop. Can run the car out pretty wide there. Flat stick through here. Getting ready for Degner 1. Nice and late on the brakes. Put that inside curb. Then Degner 2. Then he's going to go under the bridge. Just after this little right-hander, there's a tight left-hand hairpin. Hard on the brakes there. And he make his way out of there. He's got Matt Frost for company right now. Heading around, this is called like the 70R or something like that, that corner there. This is Spoon. through here. The long left-hander. And then it'll be the run down the... I wouldn't really say it's a straight. It's a really long bend. So the infamous... Well, it was infamous 130R. It's a lot safer now. It used to just have gravel all next to it. It used to be very... It used to take a lot of bravery to go through their flat, especially in an F1 car. But safety is much more at the forefront of motorsport these days, and rightfully so. And Peter Wall making his way through there. He's going to be the first driver to lay a lap for us. Can he get sub 2 minutes? Not at this stage, he can't. Matt Frost will be the next driver across the line. Here's Matthew Marsh. He'll be joining him. Max Ricker in the background now. Tom McDonald was there earlier. There's Andrew Lawrenson coming through. John Stockton crossing the line now as well. So plenty of cars getting their banker lap in. Setting a marker early. Dennis Strelnikov, our championship leader, by... No, he's our championship protagonist. He's behind Andrew Lawrenson by 1 point. 1 point only. Here's Wally Masterson making his way towards the line to set a time. Simeon Cocco in the background there as well. Mark Hurley in the Ferrari, Metal Steel Racing. So it's Dennis Strelnikov, who is our leaderboard P1 right now. Who else is out there? Herbertron. Have a look at these guys with this Red Rebel Racing livery. Not too sure what the deal is with that. Here's Paul Russell. What can he do? A 2-minute flat 0.92 set by Dennis Strelnikov. The pace is hot already. Peter Wall looking to set his second lap now. Lawrenson and McDonald are both out there on a lap, but they're invalidated right now. Peter Wall, he's just putting the cue in the rack on that lap. Here comes Dennis Strelnikov. Through the 130R, hard on the brakes into the Casio triangle. It's nice and tidy, 6/10 up on his best time. So he's going to go sub 2 minutes right here. Nice work from him. That's a new camera angle. Terry Rayton, 3/10 up on his best time, still remains in P2. John Stockton, take a shave a fair margin off his time, who's up into P13 for now. Mark Hurley, highest of the AM drivers, higher than a silver class driver as well at the moment. So the Ferrari liking the Suzuka circuit. Hey Heather Russell, what is going on? Hello to you, hello to your family as well. Paul said that they often watch, so hello to the Russell family out there. I hope you're all having a great evening. Who else is out there? Well, why don't we just put him on the screen, hey? Here he is, currently sitting at P8 right now. 201.370. 4/10 up on his best time right now. 7.5 minutes to go. So we're halfway through the session. It's Strelnikov, Rayton, Lawrenson, Ricker, Hurley, McDonald. Russell replaces Reed, Frost and Wall. That rounds out your top 10 right now. What about Paul Huddy? Oh, he's down on his best time right here. Tom McDonald. Had a great season so far, Tom McDonald. Sitting 10th in the championship. 8th last round. A 6th and a 7th before that. He's had a 5th and a DNF in there as well. He's invalidated his lap, so that's not going to do him any good. Here's another great a guy who's having a great season, Max Ricker. He's 5th in the championship. 4th last week. 327 points. A little ways behind Paul Russell, who's one spot up ahead of him on the championship tables. And he will improve his time, but not enough to move up a spot. Here's James Pierre-Reid. He's 3/10 up on his best time. That would move him up a couple of spots. Moves him up a few, in fact. 5. P5. Nice work from James Pierre-Reid. He's back from his European holiday. Probably feeling pretty good about himself right now. Dominiak remains down there in P14. Here's Simeon Coco. Where else are we? Peter Wall again. 10th up. So Strelnikov, Lawrenson and Ricker are all out there. Invalidated laps. Reed and Hurley are in the pits. McDonald's invalidated. So is Frost. Looks like he's about to pull the pin. Paul Russell is out there, but he's on a really slow lap right now. Paul Huddy will flick over to him because he's about to complete his lap. 3/10 up on his best time. That would move him up a couple of spots potentially. At least one if he maintains this. Comes down towards the line. Boom. P10. Nice work. Strelnikov is out there now. It is not an invalid lap right now. The other drivers behind him have all invalidated down to Paul Russell. The only driver in the top 10 who's on a valid lap right now. Everyone else is invalidated. Strelnikov 7/100th of a second down on his best time. A cracking 1:59.607. Pretty rapid time. A couple of tenths down now on that. Time running out, 4.5 minutes left. Setting the grid, round number 7, 7 of 9. Right at the pointy end of the season. Our championship leader, Andrew Lawrenson, currently P3. The man chasing him 1 point behind is Dennis Strelnikov. The man who's in 3rd place is currently sitting 2nd right now. That's Terry Rayton, so he's not out of the championship picture. He's sitting there on 384 points right now. He's had a win. Been in good form lately. He's had 3 podiums in a row, including a win a few rounds ago. Strelnikov still just struggling with his lap here. To be fair though, it's a pretty rapid time he's set down for himself to beat. So he's only marginally off it right now. 6/100th of a second in fact. A little bit less now. Puff of dust coming up from the car in front, going through the 130R. Hard on the brakes into the Cressio triangle. Down through the gears, clips the corner on the inside, clips the second corner on the inside, keeps the lap valid. He's got another car sitting there on the side of the road. He's dead even with his time. Is he going to beat it? I think he does. He does not. So, still though, he is sitting in pole position. Matthew Marsh, his return race. He's got 3 kilos of ballast to come back to as well. Making his way through the Casio triangle. Just a tick under 3 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. As mentioned, round 7 of 9. Coming towards the end of season number 2 for 2023. As Marsh moves up into P14. Nice work from him. What about Neil Fakeney? What has he got in store for us here? Had a great run in Silver Class this season. Coming across the line, P11. P10 now. Nice work from him. Strelnikov on another fast lap. 8/100ths of a second up. So Terry Rayton's on a cool down lap. Lawrenson is cool down lap. We're just setting up. Rick is 4/10ths down. James Pierre-Reid's invalidated his lap. Tom McDonald's just moved up into P5. Matt Frost is looking to improve his time for Viper 23 Racing. He's lost a whole heap of time there, so he will not improve his grid position of P8 right now with just over a minute and a half remaining. Not much time left to do something about it. Here's James Mack. Been having a great season in the silver class. Moved up from AM. He makes his way through the final turn now. Runs onto the front straight here. Half a second up. This could get him pretty close to the top 10 right here from P14. Ooh, P11 just outside. We'll have another crack at it here. Here's Mark Hurley. Quite a high up AM driver right now. Last round class winner. Moves up into P6. The Ferrari absolutely loving it around here right now. Terry Rayton. So it's currently sitting on the front row of the grid, P2. Looks like Andrew Lawrenson. He's put the cue on the rack. He's happy to watch qualifying from the comfort of his car right now. He seems happy with P3. It's a Ferrari fest in the top 6. 4 of them, in fact. 1, 2, 5, 6. 3 and 4 is occupied by a Porsche and a BMW. A couple of Audis following the top 10. So it's Ferrari heavy at the front end of the field. Terry Rayton isn't going to improve on his time, so that'll be all she wrote for him for now. P2 though is looking pretty solid. Max Rickett in P4. He's 8/10 down on his best time, so he's not going to improve. He'll get one more go at it, maybe. I don't think so. No, he doesn't. So that's it for Tom McDonald. 5th is the best he can do right now. He's going to have to watch everyone else complete their laps. Cross his fingers that no one else can catapult past him. Here's Denis Strelnikov. He's almost a 10th up on his best time, so he's just putting the icing on the cake right now. Terry Rayton is out there. Denis Strelnikov just invalidated his lap, so that's all he'll have for this evening's proceedings come qualifying. We've gone 000, so we're down into the countdown timer. Here's James Pierre Reid. Very nicely turned out Audi of his. Glad we could get the livery right this week. He's a couple of tenths up. That'd be good enough to elevate him at least one spot. Not enough to go 2, so P6 probably going to be the best he can do here. And there he goes. Nice work from him. Oh, Mark Hurley replaces him almost immediately. So he says, no, I'm not having any of that. Herbertron, he moves up into P15. Here's John Stockton. He's one of a couple of cars out there right now. What are you doing, Matthew Marsh? He's going into the pits. Now here's Stockton. Terry Rayton just flickering on even time right now. Oh, makes up a bunch of time through the triangle. Where is he? There he is. And there we go, everyone. Denis Strelnikov is the pole position sit-up for round number 7. Congratulations to Mark Hurley, highest AM driver. Great result for him. P6, that's awesome. And the leader of the silver class, as has been for the majority of the season. Neil Fakeney having a great season in silver. 10th outright, first in class, followed by Mack and War. I wonder. How cool is this? All right. All right, we'll be back. All right, back in a couple of minutes for the kickoff for this one. Alright, we're back. Everyone, let's have a look at the grid. So Denis Strodnikov, pole position. He's joined on the front row by Terry Rayton. Got Andrew Lawrence in that all yellow livery. Max Ricker on the second row of the grid, P4. Tom McDonald, he'll begin the race in P5. Mark Hurley, highest of the AM drivers. He's starting in P6. James Pierre-Reid, as I said, look at that nice livery there. P7. Matt Frost, he'll be starting from 8th. Paul Russell will begin the race from 9th position. And the highest silver class driver and starting P10 is the number 9, belonging to Neil Fakeney. James Mack is going to begin the race in P11. Wall will begin in P12. 13th is Paul Huddy. 14th is Carlos Dominiak. Another AM driver, Herbertron, in the Lamborghini. He's going to begin the race in P15. 16th is Matthew Marsh. 17th is John Stockton, another AM driver, and another Red Rebel Racing liveried Ferrari. This time AM driver, that is James Bridgens. Peter Hatfield, he'll begin the race in 19th. Simeon Cocco in 20th. 21st is Wally Masterson. 22nd, Harley Scotland in that retro racing livery. Dylan Powell in the Lexus in 23rd. And 24th is Nando Latenzio. So huge field this evening, 24 cars. And a big shout out to Nando Latenzio and Peter Wall, who, if you haven't seen it yet, they did the 4-hour Watkins Glen Enduro on Saturday night. And what a great effort it was from both of them in a really, really competitive field. Both those guys, they finished P4. So awesome job from them. There's that 40 cars in the field, 42, 43, I think, in the field. And so they actually, managed to finish P4. So big shout out to them. Awesome work. As we've got the field moving away from the line. It's an all Ferrari front row. Strodnikov and Rayton occupying P1 and P2. They're going to have that yellow Porsche in the background. So bloody OCE, who are you? So before I registered for Pan Am Summer Championship, I wanted to be in silver class. Stephen Haycock, go Nando. Yeah, it was a great drive from them. Very, very competitive field, and as mentioned, 40 cars, over 40 cars, more than 80 drivers. Some really rapid guys in there as well. They put in a sterling effort to finish P4, so big shout out to them. Yeah, but bloody OCE, I don't know who you are. So before I registered for Pan Am Summer Championship, I wanted to be in silver class. I don't know your name, unfortunately, but Pan Am race yesterday at Bathurst. A fun one, actually. Gage Gonzalez raced and didn't win, so that championship will extend to Kyalami in a couple of weeks for their final round of the season. So a couple of seasons coming towards the pointy end. John Stockton beginning the race in P16, so just going through Degner 1, Degner 2, named after Ernest Degner, who was a Suzuki rider. Serious crash at that part of the circuit. So as a homage, they said we'll name these two corners Degner 1, Degner 2. Trainer, dude, you killed it yesterday, man. That was a great drive from you. You managed to escape the carnage at turn 1, but then you had a really good strategy as well. So that was a really, really good drive from you yesterday. Dominated, in fact, and had some late pressure there from Gage Gonzalez making his way through the field, which is never easy to deal with. I want to see Gonzalez versus Keres versus Jimmy. Yeah, that'll be a cracker, I reckon, at Kyalami. I'm not Jimmy. He's having a great season. So is Juan Carres, race winner. And Gage Gonzalez is just, he's just Gage Gonzalez, right? Just doing what he does. But we're focusing on Ruse right now. Look at that. Nice sight. Paul Russell on camera. With Matt Frost, these guys will start going up side by side. You mucked up your pit. Ah, but you still did well though. Took out a race victory. That's pretty good. Alright, Strelnikov. Alright, cars all lining up now. Getting side by side. Make their way through the Casio triangle. Yeah, Jacob Trainer. You got your name right then. Alright, here we go. Terry Rayton. Just have to pull up a bit closer. Here we go. So once they cross that line, we will get the signal and we're going to have round number 7 of the Ruse Championship Season 2. There we go. Looks like Strelnikov got a pretty good jump. So did Ricker and Lawrenson. Terry Rayton just getting a little bit bogged down there off the line. They're going to go around the outside. Terry Rayton and Lawrenson as the rest of the field filters through, and looks like everyone's... Tom McDonald starting from the pit lane there has managed to get through nicely. So it's Dennis Strelnikov leading the field. Terry Rayton, Max Ricker. James Pierre Reid has made up a couple of spots already as well. Mark Curley is in there holding his own. Neil Fakeney holds his position as well. Looks like James Mack takes a position away. Peter Wall, he's getting in there as well. He's got Paul Huddy up ahead of him. Hatfield and Marsh going at it for 15th to 16th. Hatfield in the Mercedes there. They come up through Dunlop for the first time. Go through Degner 1, now through Degner 2. Can be a little bit of a tricky part of the track until pressures all get set up. You can see them all filtering through under the figure 8 bridge. It's Strelnikov leading them through the hairpin turn, followed by Rayton, Lawrenson and Ricker. And it's a little gap back to James Pierre Reid. Just remember, Dennis Strelnikov, he is carrying ballast. 17 kilos in fact. Andrew Lawrenson has 2 kilos less at 15 kilos. Terry Rayton has 9 kilos of ballast, so giving you a bit of an insight there as well. And Max Ricker, amongst all of them, he has 0. He has 0 ballast right now. So that give him a little bit of a pace advantage potentially around here. We'll wait and see. Ballast has been new this season, and it's proven to be quite a masterstroke addition to the PC Monday Night League. It's definitely kept the racing extremely competitive, and this is what we have right now as they all come through the triangle, and they've all been very, very well behaved so far on the first lap, except potentially this man here. Let's see. Oh dear, I've caught the tail end of that. Where is that? That's down out of Spoon, I think. So he may have even just gotten on the gas there a little bit too early and gone around, and we'll get back to live pictures now. Nando Latenzio putting the move on John Stockton, so he's been a rapid riser. He's already moved up 5 spots from P23, Nando Latenzio, so he's had a great start to this one. James Mack as well, down there in P10. Only 60-minute race, 60-minute format, the sprint format. So that 60 minutes can evaporate pretty quickly. So you need to make your moves and get them done, as Fakeney closing in on Matt Frost. And into the hairpin. So Strelnikov and Rayton, 1.5 seconds is already the gap Strelnikov has. Lawrenson right on the back of Terry Rayton though. He's just under a second, 7/10 behind him. Ricker is the second back, you can see. Then there's a little bit of a gap to James Pierre Reid, 2 seconds. And then the rest of the field after that they're only separated by anywhere between 4/10 to 8/10 of a second. So very tightly compacted between P6 and P13, as you can see there on the screen. Plenty of cars in the shot, all filtering through the 130R. That's Nando Lattanzio. He's been on the move very early in this one. He takes up another spot, so that's up 7 positions. Nando Lattanzio, he's all over it tonight, continuing on his form from Saturday night. So, we got a couple of guys in trouble here. Let's see what happened. Halicam might give us a bit of better idea. That's Simeon Coco. We're with Scotland right now. And then, he just gets a tap from behind. Who's that? That's Wally Masterson. So, unfortunate for him. What's happened to Pierre Reid? He's dropped a whole heap of positions. That's Russell. Caught the very end of that. Where's that? Degner 1, Degner 2, I think. So, he's gone around. Oh, no, that was at turn 1. Yeah, that was turn 1. So, unfortunate for him. Go back to Fakeney here. That's through Degner 1 now. Beautiful sight. Those cars coming through there at full tilt. And Pierre Reid looks like he's in a bit of the wars right now. Oh, dear. Let's see what happened. That's Hatfield in the Mercedes behind him. He just gets a touch and around he goes. So have a little bit of work to do after the race. The trusted drivers panel. They do look at very early race incidents, usually the first lap. We might look at the first couple of laps of this one. Here's Lawrenson giving chase to Terry Rayton. They're about to go through the 130R. Porsche handling it without any dramas whatsoever. Rayton, you definitely know he's there. You can't miss him in that yellow livery. So we head up the main straight. So Andrew Lawrenson, 15 kilos of ballast. Terry Rayton, he has 9 kilos. Just to give you a bit of an idea between these two. Dr. Yellow, JR East. There we go. What about Fakeney on Frost as well? Let's get back to Andrew Lawrenson. These are 2 laundry house races as well, so these 2 will be very familiar with each other, possibly even in the chat together right now. Both going at it. Last lap around, Lawrenson did it 2:00.980. Rayton did a 2:01.150. So pace advantage to Lawrenson, despite the extra ballast. Here we go. A tough move up here through Spoon, but he might just be setting him up here for the run out of Spoon. So the pit window is open, 45-minute pit window. It is a mandatory fuel stop tonight. So mandatory fuel. There's no mandatory tyres. Weather settings, as you can see, it's beautiful sunshine. Track's at optimum. Not expecting any weather this evening. Although it is Suzuka, but yeah, doesn't look like there's any chance of weather interrupting this one. Almost 10 minutes into it right now. Go on board with Lawrenson. Side by side into turn 1. So Terry Rayton able to keep Lawrenson behind him for now. What about Neil Fakeney and Matt Frost? They're continuing to duke it out. So highest of the silver runners is Neil Fakeney. Mark Hurley having a great run up there in P5, highest of the AM class. Have a few AM drivers in the field today. Ridgens in Scotland They swap positions down there a little bit further in the field, and then you got Peter Wall and Carlos Dominiak. So have a few battles going on throughout the field, which is really great to see. Focus on the one at the front though. Last lap around. Lawrenson continue to be a little bit faster than Terry Rayton. But as the great Murray Walker once said, it's one thing to catch a person, it's another thing to pass them. I wonder if anyone even knows who Murray Walker is in this. Oh, probably in Rouge they would, I reckon. Be a few older viewers. Here we go, down the back straight here. So top speed, Terry Rayton 255, Andrew Lawrenson 258 in that Porsche. So definitely has a fair bit of toe in it right now. 992. Follows the Ferrari. Neil Fakeney and Matt Frost. They're swapping positions right now. Looks like we're getting right at the tail end of it here. So go into the Casio Triangle. It's great driving from. Oh, I was going to say. Great driving from both of them. Oh dear, that's just a knock-on effect there, unfortunately. Let's see the replay here. So Fakeney just got a little bit out of shape, and then Russell got a nudge from behind, then Huddy, then Wall, then I think that's Dominiak as well. So they all got caught up in that, unfortunately. Peter Wall looks like he's had another off there at turn 1. So it's all happening right now. He's struggling to get going again. It's Dominiak going through. He's got Herbertron and Frost in there. Huddy and Hatfield to join him. And then I think you've also got Neil Fakeney, who's just trying to attach himself to the rear of it. So a little bit of a fracas there. We seem to have things back under control right now. So a little bit of action to begin this one. Back to the battle at the front. Lawrenson and Rayton continue to duke it out. Strelnikov, though, he's 3.7 seconds up the road, so he's been able to stretch out and get a decent lead here, almost 4 seconds. Frost and Herbertron swapping positions. Huddy tucked in there as well. It's a very tight pack going on here. Looks like McDonald was able to get past Marsh as well. So McDonald started from the pit lane. Here's Frost and Wall into the Casio Triangle again. Huddy coming through too. And Neil Fakeney, so all's well this time around. Peter Wall though, he ducks off into the pits. He's making a pit stop in his mandatory fuel this evening. And in the meantime, Lawrenson and Rayton have swapped positions. My apologies for not picking that up. I was preoccupied with all the action that was going on behind. Bridgens! Oh, what happened, Bridgens? Let's see if we can pick it up on the replay here. Oh, 130R just got up on the inside of the curb. Big hit in the back. And he obviously teleported back to the pits where we saw him. It was Dylan Powell. He's down in P24 right now. So there's Strelnikov, and then here's Lawrenson and Rayton. It's Terry Rayton. So it's his turn now to sit behind the rear of Andrew Lawrenson. So 1 point the championship difference. So 425 points. Andrew Lawrenson sits atop of the championship table. 424 points. 1 point behind is Denis Strelnikov. They're currently in the reverse order right now. Our championship leader is in P2. P2 in the championship is in P1 on the track right now. So that adds a little extra spice to it. Speaking of spice, Hatfield is getting very spicy there at Spoon Curve. Neil Fakeney looking to go down the inside. Looks like he was hesitant for a second there, but then pulled the trigger, made his way through there. So he moves up into P14. We go on board with Carlos Dominiak. Nando Latenzio, he's made up a whopping, where are you? 15 positions. 15 positions. He started plumb last, 23rd, and now finds himself in 8th position. So what a fantastic effort from him. Tom McDonald, he's moved up 8 spots as well. It's great driving from Nando. He's certainly carrying on the form, as I mentioned, from Saturday evening. Here's Paul Huddy. He's in the pits as well. This looks like it's a scheduled pit stop. Hatfield just running a little bit wide there through turn 1. That's Stockton, who's arriving on the scene. As they go up through the centre S's one more time. He's got Tom McDonald sitting behind him. He started in P24, Tom McDonald. So he's moved up 9 spots already. You can see him crawling all over the back of his fellow Ferrari driver, Stockton there. And you can see him in the rearview mirror there, the rearview mirror screen. Goes through Degner 1, Degner 2 now. Nice and smooth, power on. It's very, very tricky braking zone there because you want to leave the braking as late as you possibly can, but you've got to make sure the car's straight so it doesn't leave you a lot of margin for error in that section there. Very hard braking zone into the hairpin. You want to get that right. So in the meantime, this man here just fallen back a little bit now from Andrew Lawrenson. The gap's at 1.1 seconds. And the gap between Strelnikov and Lawrenson is now opened up to 4 seconds. So 4 seconds the difference between P1 and P2. A second the difference between P2 and P3. And then the field's pretty spread out from there on in. It's 1 to 2 seconds the gaps throughout. Just trying to find some closer racing. This is Harley Scotland in the Retro Racing Ferrari in AM class. AM class currently being led by Mark Hurley. He's up there in a great P5 as Scotland goes very deep under brakes. Easy to outbrake yourself there into the triangle. And Dylan Powell just moving off into the pits. No, it wasn't. Who was it? It was Wally Masterson. Sorry, my mistake. Masterson going into the pits now. Here's Tom McDonald. So he's still looking for a way past John Stockton. Warren Tyre Tribe. At the top of the S's, down through the left-hander at Dunlop. A long left-hander. Can take this flat out. Just before 50-metre mark. Degner 1 at the inside of Degner 2, run it wide. Had a good run out of there, had to just pull out of it at the last moment. He went under the bridge. Tricky braking zone again. You see a lot of moves happen through here as well. Generally up the inside. Peter Wall and Masterson. It says they... Oh, that's why, because he was in the pits. And Peter Wall has already gone through. My apologies for that, everyone. I'll go back to live pictures right now. Here we go. So Latenzio continuing to make up a lot of ground. Started in P23. Currently sitting in 8th. He has James Mack, who's currently leading the silver class right now. Last lap around, Mack did a 2:03.317. Latenzio, looks like Stockton and McDonald had a little bit of contact there. But McDonald able to make his way past. Nice move from him into the triangle. He takes a position away, moves up into 14th right now as we get back to this little scrap here between Mack and Lattanzio. Last lap around, Mack did a 2:02.917. Lattanzio was 0.7 of a second faster on that one. Great driving from him so far. Suzuka, I dare say, must be a favourite of his because Aston Martin has looked very at home. But it's a Ferrari leading the way. We're almost at a third race distance. And this race shaping up quite nicely right now. Field is pretty spread. We've still got 23 drivers. Dylan Powell just having an issue there at the Casio Triangle. Let's see how that came about with the Lexus. He's looked all right here. He's just got on the bump there and, yeah, gone around. So, unfortunately for Dylan, he's managed to catch that nicely. And he's back underway. So, no harm, no foul. We'll continue on with his race. To Peter Hatfield. Where did he start? He started in 18th position. So he's now up there in P13. Made up 5 spots. Neil Fakeney just ahead of him. P12, the number 9 Lamborghini. So at the third race distance, it's Strelnikov, a 4.5 second gap. Last lap around, hitting a 2:00.955. A little bit quicker than the chasing Lawrenson as well, hitting a 9:70. So 1.5 hundredths of a second gap between those two on that previous lap. Terry Rayton sitting in third as Neil Fakeney just ducks off into the pits, making his stop, as mentioned, mandatory fuel stop tonight. See how long the drivers have stopped as he comes in. Not really giving us anything to sort of really work with, so we'll wait for Neil to make his stop. We'll get a bit of an idea of what we should expect to be a pass score this evening through the pits. As we continue to watch this is Lattanzio out of Dunlop into the Degners. He's lapping at a 2:03.1 last lap around. 7/10 slower than James Mack just up ahead. Looks like Neil Fakeney is still in the pits. Yeah, right. Okay, so Fakeney still in the pits there. And, oh, he's off. Alright, cool. That gives us a bit of an idea. A minute 10, a minute 8. A minute 8. It looks like it's the pass score for this evening. We're watching Frost. He's hunting down Carlos Dominiak, who's currently in P2 in class right now. He's being led by James Mack. He's 7th outright. Dominiak 2nd. Hatfield 3rd. That's probably the highest I've seen him up in silver class. He's having a great run there. Then it's Hurley for the AM class. Herbetron is 2nd and Simeon Coco in 10th, 16th. It's car number 7, but he's 3rd in class right now. So that gives you a bit of an idea of how the field looks. Poor James Pierre Reid, he is down there in P21. You can see him there. So he's not had a great start to this one. He will not be enjoying it. He's still flicking that Audi through the two Degners. He's still giving it his all right now. Back to Lattanzio, trying to make up some ground on Mack. He was significantly faster on that previous lap, so whatever was ailing him is no more. All over the back of the Ferrari. a real balancing act going through Spoon. Looks like he's doing it quite well though at this stage. Two cars in the background. That is for position as well. So we've got a couple of little scraps going on here. We'll try and keep an eye on both of them at the same time. So Tanzio follows the Ferrari into the Casio triangle, and Matt Frost does the same. Mark Hurley is in the pits, so our AM class winner and 5th outright makes his way down pit lane. Here's Latanzio ducking into the draft of the Ferrari, winding that big V8 up on the Aston Martin. Oh, I thought he might have had a look down the inside there, but not quite close enough into the very peculiarly shaped turn 1. So we continue to following him up through the centre S's, up the hill as such. There's definitely a gradient there as Coco. Oh, what happened, Coco? Oh, out of the final turn and whack into the wall. That's a decent old hit, that one. Oh, that's really easy to do through there though, because you sort of, cars can be right on the limit, depending on the line that you take out of the final turn. It doesn't really look like much, but you can get it wrong. And when you do, that often is the result around here, as we see one of the cars flashing past across the bridge there in that figure 8 part of the circuit. Very unique thing about this track. Still got 23 though, so still got a decent old field. The reason we're watching the battle for 6th and 7th though is Strelnikov is 5.8 seconds out in front of Andrew Lawrenson. He lapped 0.7 of a second faster on that previous lap, did Strelnikov. That's stretched out to 5.5 second gap between 1st and 2nd. There's 3.2 between 2nd and 3rd. Max Ricker is a further 3 seconds behind him. And then Paul Russell is P5, 19 seconds behind Ricker. So gives you a bit of an idea that the field is pretty well spread out here. And that's why we're watching these two close cars out on circuit. Even Matt Frost just having a little bit of difficulty keeping up with Dominiak there, and then Hatfield as well. So got some good scraps between 7th and 11th right now. But other than that, it's pretty sort of stretched out field. Do have a 45-minute pit window this evening. We're almost 20 minutes into that. Mandatory fuel stop tonight. No mandatory stop for tyres, so of your choosing. This is turning into a bit of a four-way battle right now, because Dominiak is making up a bit of ground on Latanzio, is doing his best to get past James Mack, who's no easy that's no easy feat. James Mack's a very experienced driver, moved up to silver class this season, and has definitely held up his end of the bargain, that's for sure. See Dominiak there now, rearing up very close to the rear of the Aston Martin, that British Racing Green Aston Martin. They make their way through Spoon Curve, along to the large bend. At the rear of the circuit, leading into the 130R. Oi, that was a bit of a rough ride. Let's go have a look at that, shall we, from the onboard. This will be very interesting to see. So following Latanzio, just took a little bit too much of the curb, had to back out of that. And there he goes again. So Dominiak is continuing on. Latanzio and Mack following each other into the pits. And minute. Oh, so Tom McDonald's in 37 seconds. Hurley a minute 4. Peter Wall 54 seconds. Masterson 41. Oh no, Latenzio had to back it up. Pretty dirty that we caught that on the stream there. In the meantime, we'll get back to the action on the track. This is Peter Hatfield. So you got Mac, Latenzio and Scotland all in the pits. So is Dylan Powell. So the bottom 8 positions, bottom 7 are all have made their pit stop. And drivers at the front yet to do so. Pit window still has just under 23 minutes remaining on it. It was a 45-minute pit window. Oh, Stockton. Oh yeah, that's Degner too. He's hit the wall. Let's see what happened here. Oh, looks like he got a little bit loose through Degner 1. Oh, then it was on the exit, and that's Marsh coming through there. Wouldn't have been expecting to see that, and that's the aftermath right there. Andrew Lawrenson is in the pits. I'll keep an eye on that. So is Max Ricker. In the meantime, these two... Oh, no! They make contact! That's Hatfield and Herbertron. Let's have a look at the replay. Maybe if we go on board with the Mercedes. And, yeah, that didn't clumsy right there. So, I certainly know the feeling though. Oh dear, that's Herbertron, and yeah, I think that might be race over for him. It is. Yep, there you go. So Lawrenson in the pits, he makes his stop. Ricker made a stop as well. So Lawrenson, a 45-second stop. Ricker still continuing to go. Got Russell, Herbertron, Hatfield, Stockton. I think Herbertron and Hatfield though, that's their stops are permanent, I think, at this stage. As we're watching Neil Fakeney and Wally Masterson going at it. P17 and 18 right now. Cars in the pits. But Andrew Lawrenson, he's come out of the pits in P4. There's our race leader, Dennis Strelnikov. So he continues on. Terry Rayton do here. He decide to continue or box? No, he's going to continue as well. And you got Carlos Dominiak, outright P3 and leader of the silver class right now. So Carlos Dominiak having a great race. Lawrenson 50.9 seconds off the leader, and he had a 45-second pit stop. So it's a bit getting a little bit agricultural there. Carlos Dominiak at the triangle. He makes his way into the pits. Matthew Marsh. Let's see what he does here. He needs to make his pit stop. Only 4 drivers left to make a stop. So Strelnikov, Rayton, Dominiak and Marsh. Marsh won't be in this time. Dominiak is in there right now. And then Nando Latenzio. What's happened to Nando? So he's made his pit stop. Got some stop-go penalties on the screen there. So Matt Frost and James Mack both caught speeding in the pit lane. That's a 30-second stop-go next to their name right now. So that's going to put a bit of a dent in their aspirations of this one. Right now, Strelnikov has a pit stop in his pocket. So he has a little bit more than a pit stop. If he was to go the same length of time in the pits as Lawrenson did. Lawrenson went for 45 seconds in total. Strelnikov has a 50-second lead between he and Andrew Lawrenson. It's a 9-second gap between Strelnikov and Rayton. But Rayton is yet to pit as well. Peter Wall making his way into the pits. I wonder if that's I'm not too sure what it is. I don't think that's a scheduled stop. And then Frost, I think, serving his drive-through penalty right now. Yep, down there in 14th position. It's got Huddy coming through. So stop go. 30 seconds. So that'll be quite frustrating for him. Just getting on that accelerator a little bit too early. And getting pinged by the speed camera. So we're more than halfway through now. It's a 35-minute mark. And it's Strelnikov with an 8.48 second gap, between him. Oh, Wally Masterson. That was just happening in front of our eyes. Let's see how that came about. That was Pierre Reid. Very lucky that did not clean him up. Oh, that was through Dunlop. Oh, he got a little bit of contact behind from our race leader, Denis Strelnikov. He gave him one. He gave him two. A little bit of Morse code for get out of the way. And unfortunate for Wally Masterson. He went around at Dunlop. I was going to say it's pretty... Oh, he continues to... He's in all sorts at the moment, Wally. Yeah, he's not having a good time of it right now as he flicks the car back around. And what's happened to Huddy as well? Oh, that was a Degner 2. Oh, that's a Ferrari coming through there as well. So, having a few little dramas out there right now. But all's well that ends well. So that's interesting. So Strelnikov here was at 9.1 seconds, currently at 7.7 right now. So that lead that he had over Rayton obviously affected a little bit by that little bit of contact he had earlier on the lap. So Wally Masterson just in the I'd forgive him if he just pit and quit from there. Would not blame him whatsoever. 23.5 minutes to go. Here's Peter Hatfield. He's been in a couple little scraps already today. Going down the inside of Neil Fakney into turn 1. This is a move 4 position. This is a top 10 position, in fact. P9 to Peter Hatfield. Nice work from him. Let's take a second look at that, shall we? Let's go on board. Have a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, nice move from him. Down the inside. Gets it done. Moves up into P9. Well done, Peter Hatfield. Having a nice run today. Where did he start? P18. He's moved up 9 spots. Great work from him. So Strelnikov and Rayton continue to go around. The gap to leader is 50.5 seconds. So they still have... Strelnikov still has a pit stop in his pocket. Is that Terry Rayton coming through? It is. He doesn't. So he's about 43 seconds. So it's going to be pretty tough for him to hold on to P2 here with Lawrenson. Lawrenson's lapping very, very similar lap times as Rayton right now. So he's definitely got the pace, Terry Rayton. He's just coming up into a bit of traffic right now. That's James Pierre Reid getting out of the way very, very nicely. So he makes his way through Spoon Curve. And down the back bend. Back straightish kind of part of the track. It's Fakely ahead of him. So it's not 4 position. See what lap time he does this trip around. His last lap was a 2:02.197. Let's see what sort of lap. Strelnikov just did a 2:01.485. Rayton does a 2:02.250. So slower than Lawrenson's previous lap and slower than Strelnikov. Gaps at 8.7 seconds, 8.8 now between Strelnikov and Rayton, and 51 seconds the gap between Strelnikov and Lawrenson. So right now, Denis Strelnikov is in a very, very strong position, a commanding position, one would say, right now. Rayton's got a little bit more work to do, though, if he wants to hang on to P2. Back from break, though, is this man here, Matthew Marsh. He's sitting P4 outright. Now, he has not stopped yet. He's one of 3 cars to have not stopped. 4, in fact. Herbertron hasn't made his stop yet. So, Matthew Marsh, he started in P15. Currently P4. So, 11 spots he's managed to move up. But he needs to make his pit stop as well. So, we'll see. What's the gap between Marsh and Dominiak? 18 seconds. 18, 20, 18, and so about 40 seconds. So he's on for a podium position in the silver class right now, Matthew Marsh. He's got 3 kilos of ballast, hasn't raced for 4 weeks. Come back and just stamping his authority all over this one. And then Mark Hurley, he is the AM class leader. I think he's going for 3 AM class wins on the trot right now, Mark Hurley. He's doing it pretty easy too, because the closest AM driver is another Ferrari. It's Harley Scotland. But Harley Scotland is in P12 right now. And then on the podium for AM is this man here, Dylan Powell. So down in 19th. Just needs to keep trundling around for another 19 and a bit minutes. Find himself in a podium position this evening in the AM class. This man here, Max Ricker, where are you? He's on the screen. There he is in the BMW. So as mentioned, he's had a great season. He's had a couple of 5th positions, a couple of 4ths, a 13th and a 20th. So he's had a bit of an all-out. Well, he's had a good season mixed in with a couple of not so good results. But today he started in P4, so he's one spot down from where he began, but he's made his pit stop and Marsh hasn't, so he will take that spot automatically away from Marsh once he pits, or unless he gets past him before he pits. He only has 11 minutes left to do so, so the pit timer is counting down. Here we go. Down into turn 1. Ricker gets the job done. What happened to Paul Russell? Yeah, that is a good question. Where is Paul Russell? Oh, I think we might have lost one. I think Russell is out. Yeah, I don't see Paul Russell on the timing screen. I think we've had a disconnect. So he was running about 6th or 7th. He was in a pretty nice position. I think we've had a disconnect there from Paul Russell, unfortunately. I don't see him anywhere on the leaderboard right now, so obviously possibly a disconnection issue there for Paul Russell. That's a sad end to his race. He was looking for a nice result, actually, so definitely a top 10 result, possibly a top 5, but yeah, unfortunately, Heather, I can't do much about that for you. Paul is out, and we're almost into the last quarter, so quite disappointed to get that far into the race and get a disconnection issue. Drive-through penalty for Dylan Powell. That will not do his aspirations for a podium position any good whatsoever, because Herbertron is about 54 seconds behind him, so have to wait to see how that pans out. In the meantime, Mark Hurley, he's hunting down the Ferrari of Tom McDonald. Both these drivers have made their pit stop. Hurley leading the AM class. So Hurley, he started P5. He's dropped a couple of spots. Marsh up ahead. Oh, Scotland, that's at Degner 1. Let's see what happened here. Just a little bit upset on the entry and a little nuzzle into the wall. And that is the aftermath of it, you can see there. Mainly cosmetic. There's Lawrenson coming through now as well. Oh, that was Stockton. So Stockton, I think he's already had a bit of an issue through there once already this evening. Let's see what happened. That's Stegner 1. Gets on the grass, that's the AstroTurf on the outside, that's alright. And then I just a little bit too early on the power there at a Degner 2 and goes around, and he gave that wall a nudge too. I think Valtteri Bottas did that in free practice one year. He was with Mercedes and he just got the car, a little bump at the end and went in the wall extremely hard there. So happens to the best of them. Drive-through penalties being cleared for Dylan Powell. So he's got that out of the way. He cleared that pretty quick. 7.5 minutes left in the pit window. Just a tick under 15 in the race. And it's Strelnikov and Rayton, as well as Marsh, who yet to make their pit stop. Scotland having a little bit of a drama through the Casio Triangle. It's already been an eventful lap for him already. Another Ferrari driver, so McDonald versus Hurley. Last lap around, 3/10. Hurley was faster in the previous lap, so he's got the pace to hunt McDonald down here. AM versus a pro driver. Look at that silver class driver in P5 right now, but hasn't stopped. Hurley, though, on the other hand, he has. So he's definitely had the pace around here, qualified 5th. And looking on track to take at least back-to-back class victories. I think it's possibly 3 on the trot. Have to wait and see. But I reckon he'd be pretty happy with his efforts, though. Taking out 7th outright. With a quarter of an hour to go. And he was faster on that previous lap against McDonald. So by about 4/10. So the gap is at 8/10. See a pass in the next couple of laps or so. Cricket update, 2 for 3 for 216. Another 165. Oh, come on. Alright. I know what I'll be doing this evening. In the meantime, we've got a race to finish here. And we're looking at Hurley and McDonald. Here's Terry Rayton, so one of the race leaders. He's in the pits. So Lawrenson, 45 seconds. Ricker was 1:04. Tom McDonald was 37 seconds. Hurley was 1:04. Dominiak was 1:06. How long is it going to take for Rayton? Is it a splash and dash? No, not at this stage. Where's Lawrenson? Here he is, coming through the triangle. And Rayton is going again. Lawrenson making his way through the triangle now. Here goes Lawrenson. This is going to be pretty tight. There goes Terry Rayton. So that's Peter Wall in the background there. That's Rayton going through. And we should see a flash of Lawrenson. Yeah, we did in the background. So Terry Rayton, nice stop. Yeah, there's Andrew Lawrenson just in the background there. So 37-second stop to Terry Rayton. Does he have enough fuel to get through? I wonder if we can see what fuel map he's on. Looks like it's map 1 from here. Traction control 5. So he's going to be on full beans all the way to the very end. So this is a great strategy from Terry Rayton. Just a tick over 4 minutes left in the pit window. So here's Rayton, there's Lawrenson in the background there. Last lap around, Lawrenson did a 2:02.375. Slower than Strelnikov, slower than Ricker, almost slower than Tom McDonald as well. So the Porsche just lacking a little bit of pace right now. Could have been held up with some traffic as well, you don't know. So we'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, this gap between McDonald and Hurley's just hovering at 0.8 of a second. And we're 11 minutes out from completing race number 7. Season 2 of 2023 for the Race on Ice Monday Night PC League. And it's the person who is, it's our driver that was second in the championship by a point, Dennis Strelnikov. He's currently leading the way from Terry Rayton, who's P3, and Andrew Lawrenson, who's P1. So that's where the race is at, with 10.5 minutes remaining. And Strelnikov and Marsh, only two drivers yet to make a stop. Strelnikov will have to do it in the next 2.5 minutes, because that is when the pit window is closing. 2 minutes 40, in fact. Lawrenson, oh, what's happened? Where are you? Ah, where is that? That's at the Centre S's. You do not see this very often at all. From Andrew Lawrenson, making a mistake. Oh, the back end just stepping out there as he went through. I think that is turn 4. Yeah, it is. So, unfortunate for him. Oh, that's going to put a big dent in chasing down Terry Rayton. Max Ricker is 5.3 seconds behind. Has 0 ballast. Here's Marsh in the pit. So Max Ricker has a little carrot there dangled in front of him. A potential podium in between, just in between him and Andrew Lawrenson right now. There's the gap between the two. Last lap around, Ricker did a 2:01.322. That was about a second quicker. Just a little bit more than a second quicker than Andrew Lawrenson. So Max Ricker, can he do it? 9 minutes left, 4.5 seconds the gap. Could be tight. And then Dennis Strelnikov, he's in the pits. And did he drop already? There he did. And now here we go. This pit stop is going to be another rapid one, similar to Terry Rayton. Terry Rayton was 37 seconds. Strelnikov is 41 seconds. So Dennis Strelnikov, he had more than a pit stop in his pocket. There's Terry Rayton. What's happened to Neil Fakeney here? Where is he? Let's see what happened. That's through the Centre S's as well. That's where Lawrenson went off just before. Oh, that's a disconnect, Neil Fakeney. Oh dear. So he's already had one of those this season. And that is very, very unfortunate for him. So we've had a couple of drivers disconnecting. Paul Russell, now Neil Fakeney, unfortunately. Part of sim racing. That's the reality. So Neil, can't remember where exactly he was, but unfortunately he's out of the race now. So bad luck, unfortunately, to Neil Fakeney, our silver driver. So Hurley's been behind McDonald for a little while. Matt Frost and Harley Scotland battling it out there in P14 and 15. Pit window is now closed, and we're in the final 7.5 minutes of this one. And looking right now, we are looking at a possible race victory from Dennis Strelnikov to really tighten up this championship even more, possibly take the championship lead. In fact, I think he will, because there's only 1 point the difference between him and Lawrenson. Terry Rayton has certainly helped his championship ambitions today as well, so he's not going to be out of the picture. And we're going to Silverstone next week, and then we've got a 2-hour little mini enduro around Bathurst to finish off the season. So tough place to finish, 2 hours of Bathurst solo. That's a tough ask. But I reckon these guys are up for it though. In the meantime, we've got this one to finish out. Matt Frost, where did he start? He started in P7, and just Scotland getting out of the way, letting him have that position. So we go back to Hurley now and McDonald. Two closest cars on the circuit. Everyone else is pretty stretched out. 20-car field right now. Started with 23, so I think it's a pretty good attrition rate. Another healthy grid as well for this league. So great to see 23 started. think Art Vanderlei wanted a piece of the action tonight, but it was a reserve driver, so probably even being bigger at 24. Much less intense than 40 cars on the grid like there was on Saturday night. That was pretty intense. Hurley just dropping back a little bit. So 5.5 minutes remaining. And this one's all over, bar the shouting. 102 in-game time. Track's at 40. Air temperature 32. It's optimum conditions. Not going to see any rain. And at the moment, Neil Fakeney back in the lobby as well. So he's managed to get back in here. So while we're watching the end of this one, let's go on board with a lap of Suzuka with Denis Strelnikov, our race leader. So that was a lap of Suzuka. That was a 2:02.032 from our race leader, Denis Strelnikov. As you can see, that was a very, very smooth lap. That's a man who is 12.3 seconds ahead of P2. Doing it pretty easy right now. Max Ricker has started to close up on the rear of Andrew Lawrence. He's probably going to have, I reckon, maybe 2 more laps, this one and the next, maybe to have a go at Andrew Lawrence. And last lap around did a 2:02.467. Ricker did a 2:01.782. So difference in pace there. The advantage to the BMW. He's heading up the centre S's. This would be quite a well-deserved podium if it does end up that way for Max Ricker, depending on how much Andrew Lawrence is struggling here. Ricker with no ballast, but Lawrence with 15 kilos of ballast, so that makes a bit of a difference as well. But nonetheless, that would be a bit of a feather in the cap for Max Ricker, his rookie season in Rouge. Nice little scrap to finish off this one. So a minute to go. been an entertaining 60 minutes, this one. But it was Denis Strelnikov. He started in pole position. He was never challenged throughout. Terry Rayton's done a fantastic job to hold down P2. He started in second. The top four, in fact, have not changed positions. This is where they all started.
Leader's on final lap.
There we go. Leader is on the final lap. So it's going to be one more lap for Max Ricker to have a go at Andrew Lawrenson. It's a big ask for the BMW driver. Let's see if he's up to the challenge. It's a great scrap to see us out for the end of round number 7. Tucks into the draft. Nothing doing there. Go through turn 1. I'll keep an eye on Strelnikov as well. He's already almost halfway through his lap. There's Ricker following the yellow Porsche. It's been good luck enough for Andrew Lawrenson tonight. Would have been really good luck to get a win, but not to be. Unfortunate for him. That means this championship is going to continue on though. Silverstone next week. Going to be a lot of fun in the 2 hours around Bathurst, so plenty more action still to come in this season. Definitely at the closing stages. Ricker having a look. He's giving him a little bit of contact, another little bit of a hip and shoulder. And fortunate neither car went around there or fell off the road, and they'll continue on. Ricker giving it his absolute everything right now. He wants this podium position. He's got Andrew Lawrenson in front of him. That's the only problem. Oh, they both go around. Oh, that is a very, very unfortunate way to wrap up this one. Looks like they both can continue on. They've both redressed. But Denis Strelnikov has avoided all of that. Congratulations. He is a race winner for round number 7. Well done to Denis Strelnikov. Put it on pole position. Was never heated. Terry Rayton, well done. Great drive from him into the Ferrari. It's a Ferrari 1-2. That'll do their championship a world of good as well. And now Andrew Lawrenson is going to be coming home in P3, and I don't think he'll begrudge Max Ricker for having a bit of a go at him there through the hairpin and at Spoon Curve. He's going to hold on and take a very well-deserved P3. So congratulations to him. His championship aspirations continue on at Silverstone next round. Tom McDonald, he's going to be coming home in P5. Where did he start? He started down in P24. He started in the pit lane. He's made up 19 spots. Congratulations. He'd have to be driver of the day. Tom McDonald, a whopping 19 positions. Mark Hurley, he takes the AM class win. Congratulations to Mark Hurley. And Carlos Dominiak, I don't think he's been here the last few weeks, so he is back, the Italian stallion. In fact, he is P1 for silver class and 7th outright. Congratulations to Carlos Dominiak. And then Matthew Marsh on his return after a 4-week hiatus. That's Hatfield. They're both still going at it for position. This is for 2nd in class, 8th outright. So both these drivers will be getting a top 10 finish. That's no mean feat indeed. And Marsh, the drag to the line. Does he get him? Oh, just! That was so close. So Marsh gets 2nd, Hatfield 3rd. And James Pierre-Reid, that was a heck of a recovery drive. He's going to recover to finish P10. So congratulations to James Pierre-Reid. That's a very well-deserved P10. Then you've got Wall, Latenzio, Frost, Stockton, Scotland, Mack, Powell, Fakeney, Herbertron. But it was this man here who will be the new championship leader. Denis Strelnikov takes out victory. Terry Rayton in 2nd and Andrew Lawrenson in 3rd. Andrew Lawrenson was 1 point behind Strelnikov coming in tonight in the championship. That will be no longer. Strelnikov will take the lead and get a little bit more ballast for his car as well next week when we do it all again. So that's Suzuka in the books. That means we are heading off to Silverstone next week in the UK. Hopefully we can talk about how good the cricket was tonight and what an Ashes win it was. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of each